right, so today we are going to, this is the study guide that you all got right at the end of the period. I know it wasn't a lot of time. We were working on the turkeys, but I wanted to send this walkthrough video to you. So here we go. All right, so what we're talking about here is functions. Remember, a function is where each input has exactly one output, okay? Inputs are x's, outputs are y's. You also might see independent variable, dependent variable, domain and range, things like that, okay? So if I'm looking at this, you might want to make a table out of this. Some things are a little bit easier to see as tables, all right? So this is what I have, and I'm looking at it, and it seems as though the fours, I've got the same input for X and I've got different output for Y. So this is not going to be a function. You can say either what I would say is this. The input 4 has two outputs. Whoops. And those are -2 and 9. That'll work. Or you could also also put this one output has multiple, or there is one output with more than one input. No, I have that backwards. There is one input with more than one output. Either of those will work, okay? This next one is a visual one. We learned about this. Sometimes if you don't have a table or any numbers that you can mess around with, you can use, and you have a graph, you can use what's called the vertical line test. And what that means is that as long as you can draw a vertical line through your graph and it hits the line one time, it will be a function, okay? So since each of these hit only one time, this is going to be, yes, it's a function. You could put for each input, there's exactly one output. I'm going to say it passes, the graph passes the vertical line test. Okay. And then this third one is mapping. Again, you can use a table because it's kind of like, whoa, everywhere. Set A, remember, is going to be our X's or our inputs. Set B is going to be the outputs. And then, let's see here. I would do, just again, for visual purposes, I would make a table, but there's not going to be a point for that, so it doesn't really matter to me. So -4, you follow the line from -4 goes to -1. +4 goes to 1. -3 goes to 0. Whoops, wait a sec. +4 goes to 1. +3 goes to 0, and 5 goes to 2. All right? Yeah, it's a function because each input has exactly one output. just like that. Okay? All right, next question. Julia is signing up for a gym membership with a one-time fee to join and then a monthly fee to remain a member. The monthly fee is $25 and the one-time joining fee is $100. So I am going to underline that, and I'm going to underline this. I think those are important informations. It says write a function for the total cost of the gym membership f of m after a certain number of months m. So these are going to be the variables that we're going to use. So instead of x and y, we'll use f of m and m. Then create a function table and find the cost to be a member for 1, 3, and 5 months. Okay, so cool. My points here come from the correct function, and 1 for the correct table and 3 for the correct height. So here's how I would set this up. Treat this f of m, which is the total cost. That's going to be like your y, and m is going to be the number of months. All right, so I'm looking for the total cost, and what's going to make up that total cost is going to be the monthly fee, so it'd be $25 times the number of months plus the $100 joining fee. So that would be perfect right there, okay? So I've got the correct function. I need to make the correct table and then find the correct heights. So this is where we do the kind of the, it's not a T-chart. It's almost like, I don't know, football uprights, you football fans out there. So 25m, which is our rule, plus 100. And then this over here, which would be the function of m. Okay? It wants us to find 1, 3, and 5 months. So substitute 1, 3, and 5 in for the number of months. And then you just need to use a calculator. So 25 times 1 is 25. 25 plus 100 is 125. 25 times 3 is 75, plus 100 is 175. And 25 times 5, add that to 100, should be 225. So 125 for 1 month, 175 for 3 months, and 225 for 5 months. And that is the front page. Okay? Moving right along. So it says, problem says this, says Liam and Jonathan just bought their first cars. The equation y equals 27.6x represents the number of miles y that Liam can drive his car for every x gallons of gas. The table to the right represents the number of miles y that Jonathan can drive his car for every x gallons of gas. Find the rate of change for both cars and explain which car has the better gas mileage. I will add this. Rate of change is slope. Right? It said the table to the right represents the number of miles that Jonathan. So this is going to be Jonathan's information. And then Liam, I'll just put him somewhere. Nah, I don't like that. Let's put him up here. Liam is right here, 27.6x. Okay. So what we need to find, Liam's rate of change, again, is slope. Slope m. All right. His rate of change, if you know what you're looking at in that equation, is already there. It's going to be his slope, 27.6 miles per gallon. Now, we do need to calculate Jonathan's, which is just going to be the change. So m, slope, is going to be the change in the y divided by the change in the x. So in this case, I'm going to have to use a calculator. Find the change. Actually, I don't even need to do that. So let's start. Let's see. 756 minus 540. This would be 216. 540 minus 324 is 216. Okay, so all of these have a change of 216. The change here is going to be plus 10. So if I'm looking for this slope, the change in the y over change in x, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to get 216 over 10, which is slope of, yikes, did not leave a ton of room for everyone here. I apologize. 21.6. So old buddy's rate of change is 21.6. Super easy to compare. Whose car has the better gas mileage? Liam. Liam's car has the better gas mileage. I don't know, because 27.6 is more than 21.6. It's just simple knowing what's more, right? All right, and this last question, I believe there's a lot of parts to this last question. So just read it here with me, right? The fees to print pictures from an online company are represented by the function y equals 3 plus 0.09x, where y is the total cost and x is the number of pictures. So I'm actually going to call this y and this x. The fees charged by a print shop are shown in the table. I'm also going to say that this is the print shop. Print shop. It also says online company. The online company is here, right? So, okay, find the initial value. This is your b, that's your y-intercept, and the rate of change, which is your m, that's your slope, for both companies. Then determine which statement is not true. Okay, so the online company is the one where it gives us the equation. Y equals 3 plus 0.09x. The print shop, we need to kind of figure out a few things here first. So looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. All of these are plus 1. 0.09. I think it's 0.09 for all of these. Yeah, 0.09. So all of these are plus 0.09. Interesting. Uh-oh. Okay, well, any hoodles. My m is going to be that rate of change, 0.09, because that divided by 1 is just going to be that. My y-intercept, interestingly enough here, is going to be, if I back up the 1 to the 0 and back up that 0.09, it's actually going to be 0 as well. So my y-intercept for the print shop is going to be 0. So the equation that we could use is very similar to the online company. However, it's the same rate. That's interesting. But it doesn't have a y-intercept. So, you know, the rate of change is going to be the slope. So both of them are 0.09. Probably did not mean to do that when I made this, but oh well. The initial value, the online company, is $3 charge, and then $0 for the print shop. So which statement is not true? Okay. let's kind of go through these. It says the online company charges $4.35 to print 15 pictures. So if X's pictures, we need to do a little bit of work. So let's see. I'm going to say we're looking online company, and we're looking for this. So to print 15 pictures, that would be 3 plus, sorry, hang on here. Y equals 3 plus charges 0.09 for 15 pictures. That's going to go into my calculator. And I got that Y to be $4.35. So, which statement is not true? This one is true, so it's not going to be that. So that one's true. The print shop charges $2.35 to print 15 pictures, okay? So I'll use the print shop, which is 0.09 times 15, plus 0 if you really want to, but you don't need to, times 15. This is $1.35. Okay? So I mean, that's not the same thing. So this was wrong, which means that this is actually the correct answer. These checks and circles are going to be so confusing, so I apologize. The print shop does not charge an initial amount of money. I think we found our answer, but I'm just going to go ahead and continue going through this. The print shop does not charge an initial amount of money. The print shop would be this, right? So the initial amount of money would be the y-intercept, and it's 0, so it does not charge. So that's true, right? And then the online company charges 0.09 cents per picture printed. I guess that does too, right? That checks out. That checks out. So that one is true as well. So B is the ultimate correct answer on that problem. And that's it. That's your study, guys. Guys? That's your study guide. Quiz tomorrow, and I'll answer these questions if you have them.